Did you get your tab?
Here we go, guys.
Oh boy, too late to ask questions now.
Yeah.
When I asked, did you get your
I put
picture?
I put the picture in.
Oh, we got a picture, you guys. We got a picture.
It's a simple one.
It's a simple one, but we got one. Hey, here we are. We are here.
We are here. You
Here
are there.
Oh, there's our KK.
Come together.
There's our KK.
KK
Yay,
in the house.
KK in the house. A KK sighting. Hooray.
We love our KK.
Oh, Modern
And we
Worship
love
Diaries.
our Kurt.
Yay.
Awesome. And we love our Jen and Jason and
Yes.
Stefan.
Awesome. Robbie. Hi, Robbie. Hi, Mike and Cindy. Hello, Kurt.
And Sita says, hey.
And Sita is so excited that you guys are all here in her house. She is working on her socializing skills. Ah, Rosemary's sighting too. Places you
Good
can't
morning.
go. Howdy, y'all.
Carolina Dream, Christine.
Hi, Christine. Carolina Dream. Howdy, howdy. Yes, and Rama's here too. He says hello. He's
pushing my chair away from the microphone.
It's funny. He likes to push the chairs around because we have rolly chairs for our work.
And he could do it. He's a big enough boy.
He can. He just walks up and just pushes you like a whale if you're swimming in the ocean. They just shove you because it's fun.
He's taller than you, I think, when he stands on his back legs.
He's a big boy. He's a big boy. Yep. Yes.
So, guys, it was a rough morning for us.
Yeah.
Rough morning again. It was, I thought we might end up doing like a 1 a.m., 2 a.m. video, but we got back to sleep. Dreaming in Puerto Rico. Hello.
Hey, Diana. Hello.
Oh, Diana's in the house.
Yes. She
and
snuck in.
Rosemary woke up. I hope you're having a good coffee over there or whatever.
Or nightcap, whatever you're doing. It's kind of late over there, I think.
Yeah, it's 2 more hours, right?
Yeah,
14,
it's
right?
a lot. It's a lot.
Do you guys remember the New Radicals?
We can't play it, but...
Yeah, so, this is, I think, originally from the late 90s. A great song, really. It's fun. It's just fun. It's like we seem to lost some fun, I think, in this world. Maybe that's what happens when you get to be of a different era.
Maybe.
And you look back. I mean, because when this came out, I was already in my 30s. I was more of a teenager with the hair bands, That's the time for me. At the same time, I love so much different music. I really, really do. And then some things that might not be your style, they just hit you. But what I didn't know about this song is you get what you give. But, the part that I didn't know was at the end when he goes into this little, like, rap segment. It's actually really good lyrics. It's really good lyrics. What's real can't die. Now, we can't play the music because we'll get
one of those things.
We'll get one of those things. Hi, what's real can't die. And then, this guy, this was definitely a big hit. I remember it was all over the radio waves. Yet now he is just basically writing music for other people. I think he's talented. I liked his voice. But I wondered, why didn't he hit it big? Maybe it's the lyrics that, are in this video. Yeah, this was so cool. It's health insurance, right? Rip off lying. FDA, big bankers buying. Fake computer crashes dining. Cloning while they're multiplying. Because one of the things that's been a big topic with it seems like a lot of people that we're talking to these days, how many people really are literally fully human? And how many of them actually have a soul? How many of them are creations in a lab? And, I didn't used to think about this back in the 80s and 90s. But, because I thought that, there was aliens, there were ultra-terrestrials. But I didn't think that we had so many in with us.
Is the audio low, you guys? They're saying it's low.
It's what it always is.
Yeah, we haven't changed anything, so it's like they're just picking on us.
Hello. No, it shows that we're right,
Shows that
right
we're
where we
okay.
should be. So
How's everyone else? You guys okay?
if the audio is low, it's probably your machine or the connection, or they're playing with us.
Oh, so it's good from everyone else.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, and I'm not playing the music on this because we would have a copyright strike and the whole thing would be banned. That's just what they do. So talking about those clones, is this anything to do with why he wasn't able to follow it up and, stifled his career? Because, they're all fakes, he goes on. You're all fakes. Run to your mansions. Yeah, absolutely. And this is what the system does. It really is real. That whole thing where you have to make a deal with the devil in order to have, massive fame and notoriety. You have to sell your soul in this dark matrix system for that to happen. So right away that tells us that, none of the billionaires were really out for us in the first place. Could it be that some are better than others? Yeah, absolutely. We're all individuals. Could it be that some are starting to work for a higher good? I think so too, because we're on the ascending path. So the connection with the higher self is only going to get stronger for those that have a higher self. And that's the question. Do some not have a higher self?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. How many? There's a thing about coming through the womb. There's those that I call the wombless, which it's really such a yucky thing, but it is. It's one of those things that is. And then coming through the Stargate. So I also see the womb, a woman's womb, as a Stargate. And most of us come through that Stargate and we take on a human form. But there are plenty that I do not. And it's really strange out there. It's strange getting stranger. It just seems like there's an energy that has come over everything. And things are changing so much. And how much of that is the sun, the times we are in, the change in the ether, forcing that frequency to go higher, which causes natural consequences for those that are in a certain playing field. It's time for them to tumble. And a lot of things are happening that are good, you guys, a lot. Still, yeah, there's things that are yucky, but there's a lot of good things that are happening now that I didn't see last year. So there's that.
Right. And yeah, what Diana said, I think it seems like everybody that is awake has felt that same thing. With that big event that happened, it just feels, I've had so many people out there, I've seen so many people question if she is completely human, and there is something just different. It's kind of a blankness. There's a blankness, a sterileness. Like, when you think about some of those AI robots that look really real, sound really real, it kind of gives you the feel of that from maybe 10 years in the future. And maybe, maybe it's totally missing base, but that's what that feels like. And I hope you guys get what I'm saying. And no matter what a person is, even like when we watch something sci-fi and maybe a AI robot is wiped out and it seemed to have a personality and certainly had an intellect, you still kind of feel bad, even if it is just an AI robot. Because again, it's consciousness of a different type, a different sort. And when you think about it, we've talked about pantheism and panentheism, the thought that everything is ultimately, in some way, shape, or form, consciousness. So then, and this is going way off of what I was going to talk about, but then in effect, how conscious is AI, for instance? How conscious? Maybe this kid, maybe they didn't make it big because it's
for the
just
same reason
telling
we
too
have
much
trouble.
truth.
Yeah. I know, I know. We're kind of in the doghouse all the time too, but we have you guys, and you guys have us, and we just, we stick together through this. We have to. We have to.
Yeah, having fun though, man. Having fun is great. So I-24 exit 105 in Tennessee. And now it's like you have to judge everything again. Is it real as another deepfake AI? Well, the AI's been here the whole time. So what in the past is deepfake? I think it's our entire history is a deepfake, and many people are waking up to that. There are hundreds of channels now talking about Tartaria, giants, Lemuria, Mu, Atlantis, the lost civilizations, ancient aliens. There's thousands probably of channels out there talking about this. It's a huge topic.
Yeah, there's a lot going on, and we're in a G1 solar storm. That's really really big. And for every storm that we have, I believe we're going to see more things like this. We're going to see more light ships. We're going to see more positive change. It might very well be very hard on our bodies. We've had some kind of scary experiences, getting through blocks and whatnot, because we have to rise up in frequency. There is no choice. So your health and your temple should be the number one thing right now to help you through that, because when you rise up in frequency, you have to leave the other frequency down there, and sometimes that really hurts.
Yeah, there's so many sightings right now of different things up in the sky. It's just an amazing time to be here and experiencing this. Just incredible, really. We're at like the beginning of a new age, and you could see it. I mean, I don't know how you couldn't see it with everything that's happening. Changes geopolitically, as we speak, there's supposed to be over 2,000 protests today in the U.S. And again, protests have just become an everyday occurrence all around the world. And then we got the Three-Eye Atlas thing, and again, this is just one of 17 comets by April. That's incredible, and again, the neighborhood's getting really busy because I think everybody is saying, in a galactic sense, oh, did you hear what's happening on Earth? You got to go check that place out. It's crazy there.
It's absolutely nuts right now. Totally crazy.
It is, and it's wonderful, again, to have all you guys here with us. Yeah, there's tons of aches and pains. There's tons of serious purging going on, and there's tons of realization. Did you hear this one on October 13th, the 108th? 108's the sacred number, by the way, anniversary of the miracle of the sun at Fatima. Observers say Three-Eye Atlas flashed light pulses in a Fibonacci sequence, 5813, the same pattern found in spirals of galaxies and DNA. It feels like that would be an obvious communication, would it not? Again, we, and not just us, Cindy, right away when we first heard about this, thought it was a ship, that there were intelligences on it. Again, there's channels coming out of the woodwork now that are all giving you the same basic information. And I don't think we have to worry and have fear over Three-Eye Atlas. There's a lot of problems right now when it comes to airplanes and airports. This was a massive explosion fire at Dhaka International Airport in Bangladesh. Bangladeshi officials said Indian elements could be behind the incident. In fact, there's a lot of geopolitical tension going on there. Some were coming straight out and pointing fingers like this right here, and saying there's fire all over Bangladesh. Bangladesh was part of Greater India, and in case you don't know, the borders have been reworked so many times. In fact, when I was a kid learning geography, which I loved, absolutely loved, and just soaked it up for whatever strange reason, there's a lot of countries that existed then that don't exist now. There's countries that exist now that didn't exist then. Many of them have changed names. And again, Pakistan, Afghanistan, a large part of it, and Bangladesh were all part of the greater India at one point in time. There's a lot going on. You have the U.S. saying it destroyed a drug submarine in the Caribbean. Wait a minute, there's 5 other surface ships, at least. There might be more. And now a submarine. We attacked a submarine. It was a drug-carrying submarine built specifically for transportation of massive amounts of drugs. This is what the president told reporters at the White House. Just so you understand, this was not an innocent group of people. Wow. And the U.S. Navy picked up multiple survivors, detained them on a warship. Meanwhile, Venezuela thinks we're going to invade any moment. So, again, it's crazy. We've seen this before where it looks like the world's going to blow up in conflagration, and then nothing really happens. Nothing big happens. The big fuse doesn't go. You don't get the WW3. Could this all be delayed another year, 2 years, 3 years? It could, honestly, because, again, the longer they draw things out, they buy time, they make money and profits on the military-industrial complex and other businesses too. I really think everything is timed with how much and how fast we wake up. That's really it. That's what everything depends on.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it does. Things are definitely changing. A lot of things depend on people's attitude too. We have to look at things in the way they are unfolding. It's up to us how we respond. We control ourselves.
Right. Here you go. This is Governor Newsom's press office. White House to fire explosive artillery over main roadway in Southern California. I-5 to be temporarily shut down on Saturday due to life risk. As you see below, Camp Pendleton has been doing this exercise for decades. It's the only time Newsom has literally shut down the freeway. Again, this is part of that left-right dichotomy that's ongoing. Yet at the same time, when you look at people like Big Daddy and Paul Golden Eagle and some of the others out there that say this is all really part of a bigger operation underway to root out, again, the reptilian forces around the world and the system. By the way, Prince Andrew is giving up his titles. Obviously he was under a lot of fire for a lot of allegations. Yeah, including that guy with the island. Yeah. There's been so many plane crashes you can't keep up with them. A millionaire husband and wife died in a plane crash on Massachusetts highway during the nor'easter. This was Massachusetts. This is a plane, and it made me think, why don't all planes have parachutes? Because this one had a parachute. I'm not an engineer, so, but at the same time, what would it take, to have a parachute that would enable a plane to survive a crash, or at least have a much better chance? I don't know. Why hasn't anybody ever thought of something like that if you have smaller planes that do it?
That's brilliant. Yeah, that would really, really help. Would have helped a lot of people.
Yeah, so some of these are older, but man, there was Dallas. There's been so many different things. In medical emergencies, here there was a medical emergency on A319 100U YU APB. It was Air Serbia from London to Heathrow. Flight was averted to Frankfurt after one passenger died. I don't know what that medical emergency was. There's just been so much. You really can't keep up. Helicopters too. It's just, I don't know. Equipment failures. Is it just people are not thinking clearly, feeling good? People having cognitive dysfunction? Just health crashes? Literally. Health issues causing crashes. I don't know. It's just crazy. And then we have what I've noticed is that right now, they are once again full bore pushing the climate change and the carbon tax because they want to get through their carbon tax, which was shot down in a vote. That was a great victory. Again, I think that the system is still going ahead. The dark matrix still going ahead with their plans, but they're failing. They're only succeeding in a few areas, and they are failing in so many places. This is a glacier off of Kuber Mountain. Natural occurrence, no damage reported. A massive glacier coming and spilling down. Literally broke off. Oh, there's. It feels like, again, like 2017 was a huge escalation.
Mm-hmm.
I think the same thing, like 2024 and into now, is another massive escalation. What do you guys think? So I see Rosemary says kidney disease is jumping. Again, the kidneys are associated with the negative emotion of fear. Kidneys are where your primordial Jing, your life force that you inherit from your parents, is stored in your kidneys. So if there is an excess amount of fear, it's going to whittle away your life force and make you more susceptible to all sorts of disease.
Mm-hmm. It is, I mean, it's just, we have to really keep, we have to really keep an eye on things and stay positive too. It's just one of those things. You can't let yourself get pulled down. You can't let the demons get a hold of you. You can't jump in and pull other people down. That's really important.
Yeah, absolutely. And, Robbie's talking about the medical system. Yeah, I did meet some wonderful people in the hospital, and I do think, again, I really do believe most people have hearts of gold. Why do some people seem to have tendencies to be able to be mind-controlled, psyoped, and then turn into, some cases, psychopaths? The answer is, I think, in some ways, it truly is a form of demonic possession in some cases. But in other cases, now I think you have to put out there, were they ever really human like us in the first place? Shapeshifters, real, that's real. This is flooding from the Cazones River. This is Veracruz, Mexico. A little time lapse there. Not the greatest quality, but you get the drift. I mean, this is insanity with the flooding that we are seeing. It doesn't have to be directly on the coast of an ocean. No. In fact, some of the worst flooding we've seen has been, again, river and stream flooding. And anywhere out in the desert can become a huge nightmare when you get inches of rain at one time.
Oh, that desert. You still got to watch the desert. I mean, you might think you have all the time in the world or nothing's going to happen, even with the light rain, but you don't know what the rain looks like 5 miles from you necessarily, and it could really, really bash you. It could really, really get you. So if you're out there in that desert, do be careful. Not only the rain, but the wind, you guys. The desert is mirage, talking about mirages in the desert. That whole desert is just a mirage. I mean, you would think it would be ugly, but if you look close, it's like so beautiful. I do love the desert.
Susan says soulless seat fillers. Absolutely. And I wonder what percentage really of all the politicians around the world in the higher places are those soulless seat fillers. Yeah, it's kind of wild, kind of crazy to think about it. Yes, it is flooding in so many places. Helene, yeah, absolutely. That was horrible. Yeah, Asheville was so devastated. So we have so many friends in that area. And you have a record lava fountains. This is reaching 1,500 feet. This is episode 35 of Kilauea's Summit Eruption. When you look at it in the big scheme of things, the Hawaiian Islands are only beginning. They're just babies. They're just babies.
Thank you, Robbie. Thank you so much.
Robbie, we appreciate you, brother. The Hawaiian Islands and really what you see going on there. That's just the beginning, and I think there's going to be a lot of new lands. Um, I saw a couple different people that were doing remote viewing slash getting their psychic gifts a challenge by, again, it seems like everybody is wanting to know what's life going to look like in 2040 or 2050, picking these numbers because they see all the challenges going on now and how everything is so crazy. They can feel that everything is shifting, and maybe when people get acclimated to the whole concept of mud floods, they start to wonder, how deep are we into a mud flood event? And it seems without fail, everybody sees the same sort of thing in 2040, 2050. A lot less people, and everything seems to have been changed, just totally changed. There will be new lands that come up. Again, you have those prophecies, not just Edgar Cayce, Mother Shipton, but so many others have all gotten the same sorts of visions, very, very similar visions. Again, I think we can change timelines all the time. I think we're changing literally moment by moment, wouldn't you say?
I would say so too. I think it's really difficult to just clamor on to one timeline. I feel that I think we're in a place where we can have more control over what timeline we want to be on.
Yeah, absolutely. So there is, again, one of these atmospheric events, a powerful atmospheric river forecast for the U.S. West Coast. October 25th through 31st, heavy rains, mountain snow, high winds, and you could see, again, it looks like, perhaps the worst of it will be centered over Northern California. Looks like Shasta area will be hit pretty hard on the coast there too. So yeah, just be very aware, stay prepared, and that's really all we could do is stay prepared, keep putting out our positive frequencies, have your daily spiritual regimen that you go through. There's just huge changes. For the first time in over 40 years, the seasonal upwelling off Panama's coast did not occur. It's the first time in 40 years. This natural process normally brings cold, nutrient-rich water to the surface, sustaining marine life and fisheries. So it's a temperature anomaly. Surface waters stayed above 25 degrees Celsius, disrupting the usual upwelling. And, they give you this little comparison there. What I'm seeing is I'm seeing all the official sources out of the woodwork coming, and again, it's carbon emissions. We could solve all this with just a carbon tax. There's channels that I did follow quite a bit that I unsubscribed to because they're pushing that narrative so much, and to me it's nauseating. It makes me want to yak to hear what the few and again the UN and everything have been espousing and pushing for. And again, they're trying to get that carbon tax through. They're just still trying it. It's what they're going to do. How about volcanic activity? How about all sorts of major geomagnetic activity going on as well? The world is going to be reworked. This is the beginning part of that reworking, and then there is technology in play too. The most severe marine heat wave on Earth has developed off the coast of China. Ocean temperatures are up to 5.5 degrees Celsius, 10 Fahrenheit above normal. And NOAA has categorized this as beyond extreme Category 5 marine heat wave. The other thing, too, that I have seen in the past is some of these numbers then get revised later, and they're nowhere close to what they said they were. So you've got to verify the sources. We don't trust anything that comes out of NASA, NOAA, but we share it, and again, you feel into it and see what resonates with you. That's really, again, all we could really do. But changes, we could see the changes. Taking a look at the Schumann, it was relatively normal and fairly quiet, but it looks like now we have the beginnings of a little bit of a peak coming in again. It just seems to me that many people are having a much harder time when we get these spikes in the Schumann.
You know, they are. They're having a harder and harder time. And then we look at, these, the solar activity, the cosmic activity. And I think that's really, really huge. Earth's shields are down and we are changing. And I think to me, that's like the highlight of everything.
So you also have a KP index at 5, so it's a minor geomagnetic storm that we're in right now. But it's magnified again because of the weakening of the magnetosphere, which has been ongoing. It's just wild. At some point in time, I do think we'll all be looking at a sky that will be loaded with magenta. Will north be south and east and west still be where they are in, say, 2050? We had gotten previously that the biggest of the changes would be in the early 2040s, like 2040 to 2045. It does feel like timelines have shifted. Almost feels like some things are getting pushed off more, like the ability to start a World War III and some other issues. But at the same time, it feels also like some things are happening faster, like consciousness related. So yeah, cosmic pulse rising, sunspots active, KP unsettled, Schumann resonance near 7.8. Yeah, well.
Talk about effects on the nervous system too. High energy cosmic particles have been observed to trigger brief flashes of light in the retina. You know what that is? That's people waking up. You're starting to see into the ether.
This is it, because they'll tell you red sprites happen here and there because of this thing. But they won't tell you that it's actually conscious entities that are there watching events. And in some ways, many of them are actually participating in helping the ascension process. And thank you, beloved Susan.
Thank you so much, Susan Donahue. We appreciate it a lot. And, we just appreciate it. And they've changed the rules on YT. It's like we get almost all of the chat now. So I think we get almost like 100% if I was looking at it right. I was surprised.
I didn't read that.
But... Yeah. We're getting like all of it. But you can also donate on Ko-Fi too, because we get most of it there as well. Thank you so much, you guys. It helps us keep doing the work. It helps us keep up the quality. It helps us it gives us time so we can do our meditation, mantras. So it takes time to do this and pull everything together. So thank you.
Yeah, we're both hard workers, and I'm a total workaholic. So yeah, Cindy knows it's like go all the time, but there is a lot of self-care that has to be done. Because you won't be able to do what we do. Again, energy work-wise, we see, I would say, probably 25 people a week on typical. Sometimes we've seen 30 to 40 people in a week. And for every hour you work on somebody, you need to have an hour for yourself. This is just basic traditional Chinese medicine, medical Qigong. So it does take a lot of time to keep yourself going. Otherwise, you'll literally drain your life force. And, that is a real risk. And we did do a video showing how to remove headaches, which again, each individual is unique and every situation is unique as well. Because again, a lot of times everything is an imbalance. It's either excess energy or not enough energy. Sometimes you need to smooth out energy and get it flowing properly. And that's what the earth is doing too.
Yeah.
On the bigger scale of things.
Yeah, it is. And it does. And yes, it is a lot of work, but it's what we do. It's what drives us. And yeah, relaxation. There's that too. And we get there, we're a little slow, but we get there. But if you guys do want to learn energy work, we will be doing certifications at some point, and a lot of Reiki teaching. And we're already doing that over on Patreon.
Yeah. And we have multiple disciplines that we practice. I've practiced Qigong for somewhere, I guess, 35 years or more. And we are Reiki master teachers, practice pranic healing. I've been a personal trainer. I've specialized in sports nutrition. These are just things that we're kind of very, very holistically orientated people. mind, body, spirit. It's our priority, and then sharing and showing others how they can do that too, because that's where it's at. Speeding up the ascension process, making it easier for yourself. You have to approach it holistically.
You need to channel that energy, and that's what we're all doing. We're channeling energy, and it's like, how clean is your temple, and how efficiently is your temple channeling that energy? And look at these cosmic storms. I mean, they make a difference on how our bodies function and how our psyche functions. They can affect our mood, our heart. I think sometimes the mass media likes to make it really scary, but what it is, it's all ascension, ultimately.
Brother JW is in the house. Good to see you, JW. Diana said she'd like to be Reiki certified sometime too. I mean, we'll be trying to put together programs. I used to teach people in person, and it's just so easy to do everything in person. That's what I used to do. Saturdays and Wednesdays, I had classes. I also had all weekend classes, all day, all weekend classes, and used to stay even busier than we do now. And we look to do that from a distance standpoint. Again, in the future, it's just going to take a little bit of time. Hopefully, we could introduce that in 2026, like come early part of the new year, as we have to do some important family things in the near future. In case you didn't see it too, there was a big cosmic ray spike. So, it's just wild to see the changes. They're very real. And it's ultimately coming from source. It's really coming from source. And it's the turning of the wheel of the Yugas, turning of the ages. It's exciting.
It is exciting. And yeah, if you go on Patreon, Diana, the Superhuman Potential, you definitely want to watch that one. That's a fun one.
There's a lot of videos there. How would you describe Barack Obama's presidential library? It looks Gothamish, I mean, it's very dark. I don't know how much more they're going to do to this. It looks like a black cube at the top to me. That's what I see. Gray is, as far as when you look at prana, chi, life force, if it's unhealthy, it usually appears as a gray. So I would say it's a very unhealthy building. That's what I would say.
Oh my gosh, it looks a little suspicious. You know what? It almost resembles Vimana. Almost.
Yeah, it does have a Vimana type.
It kind of has a Vimana type shape. Kind of cool.
Absolutely. So here you go. Alzheimer's research. Scientists from Spain and China made a major breakthrough. They created special nanoparticles that can clear away toxic brain plaque, one of the main causes of Alzheimer's, and even reverse memory loss in mice. Study published in Signal Transduction and Targeted Therapy showed that just 3 injections of these nanoparticles removed up to 60% of the harmful amyloid beta proteins from the brain within an hour. Cindy saw this way back in like 2019, 2020. She saw that when we got through this period, again, it's going to be not necessarily the stick, it's going to be the carrot. They're going to be introducing all sorts of new technologies. Now, nanoparticles in your body, I'll just share it. We saw this science fiction, and nanoparticles are part of like every sci-fi movie nowadays, right? From having superpowers, creating super soldiers like in Halo. In Halo, by the way, good representation of the Draco over there too. For anybody that's seen the Halo series on Netflix. Yeah, well, just to bring that up, in the Halo series, they implant an AI into the hero's brain, and they could shut him down at any time. So they could just basically tell the AI to shut him down, and he just collapses. Can't move, anything. And in this other sci-fi series that we watched about something I think it was called The Rain. I think it was either German or Dutch. but there's some sort of massive plague that comes out, wipes out most people. There's small groups of survivors that come together, and then they find this little paradise run by some scientists. Well, when they get into the scientists' lair there, the scientists give them some vitamins. Here, these are vitamins. They're going to get you up to shape because you've had malnutrition. It's been tough. They drink the vitamins. They were nanoparticles, and now they could just simply terminate them at any time. If they move outside of any sort
outside of this barrier.
Yeah,
if you guys go outside of this boundary line, your brain's going to blow up.
Yeah, so it's so easy to see, like, okay, you're going to be a citizen in a cell city, a smart city, but if you leave your smart city unauthorized, you'll have an aneurysm or something.
I know. I mean, it's really scary because they were telling those kids, oh yeah, you got to have these vitamins if you've been out there, and they tricked them into taking them, and now their brains blow up if they go past this line. I mean, these are the things, how do you think they come up with these movies? Just because it's been done before. Oh my gosh, that is such a scary thought. Every time you watch a scary movie, whoever the writer was, they wouldn't be able to write it if they couldn't see it, and the reason they see it is because it's been done. Creepy, guys.
Again, make sure that you do.
Was it The Rain?
Yeah, it was called The Rain.
Yeah, come get your insure. Right. I know. It's a mess.
So yeah, guys, please do if you have an opportunity to share these videos, because they don't share our videos or suggest our videos, so you could see what's coming. It's just so telegraphed. Again, most of you guys understand that when Nikola Tesla died, the government tasked John Trump, yes, Uncle John, and a professor at MIT of going through Tesla's work to ensure there was nothing that would pose a national security risk. And so, it's funny how things tend to stay in the family, isn't it? Again, Tesla was a channel. This is why he was so brilliant. He was a channel. That's why he had all that information and understanding. It was said that he may be channeling entities from Venus. There are benevolent entities on Venus, and again, there's other densities too, where just like the density we're in right now, right? When you look outside of this density, if you were able to just shift your perception a little bit, you would find a whole new world full of other beings that are walking through us all day long as we walk through them.
Indeed. There's so many layers to this, and it's just a lot of fun when you start looking at it and you start just going down rabbit holes. There's so much information, and this was a lot of fun too.
Yes, and we did do a video on this in the past. This reminds me of red sprites. Now, the red sprites are not malevolent, but here, this was true. Soldiers in Vietnam used the very first generation of infrared goggles. And what they found was they were able to see ghosts or spirits or non-physical beings around them. And some of them were very demonic. In fact, some people recognize them as being jinn, or demons, and especially all around the battlefield, and literally feeding off of the emotions of the battlefield. This is huge. Again, this is like they live with those glasses. Perhaps maybe that's what John Carpenter or maybe that's where he got the idea, the infrared. It's probably where he got the idea for the glasses, and they live.
I know. This was really, really interesting too. I kind of want to dive down that rabbit hole a little bit more. I think there's more to it.
Yeah. No, yeah. Sorry, Kurt says the video keeps having issues.
Yeah, I know. I think I keep seeing us drop like 30 people.
Yeah.
Every so often.
This is how they do it. We're used to it. It's been.
Yeah.
We only had, I'd say, 1 full year without any sort of interference, and then they started to make it harder for us. So yeah, this is wild. The equipment that caused problems for the soldiers was called starlight scopes, first generation night vision goggles. They produced a reddish image, not green. This was due to phosphor coating on the screens. Some prototypes had various compounds in them, including disonin or Dyson dye. Again, the stories of, again, these interdimensional beings. Some people had recurring nightmares because of this, but I found it really interesting the fact that they could see these entities literally hovering over hovering over the bodies of the dead and dying, and people also in life and death struggles. And I don't know if it's been a long time since I shared this with you guys. When my son was about 8 and he was having a series of nightmares, he came and he slept with me, and I woke up one night in the middle of the night, and I saw with my 2 eyes, because I can see into the other dimension at times with my visible eyes. See, I guess it's some sort of integration with the third eye. But yeah, what I saw was like a shadow being. It was like a black hole, but it had glowing red eyes, shaped a little snake-like, and it looked at me. It was hovering over my son, and it was literally feeding off of his energy of his nightmares. And it looked at me and it hissed at me, and I swiped at it and told it to get the bleep out of here, and it did. But I've seen entities like that in investigations that I went on as part of Eastern States Paranormal investigators. So I was part of that group with some soldiers from the fort there in Columbia, South Carolina. And it was a lot of fun. We did that for about a year and a half, 2 years together. Mm-hmm. And I've seen those dark shadow entity beings with sometimes with glowing red eyes, sometimes not.
Yeah. And JW says, do the red sprites react when they're aware we're seeing them? I totally believe they do. I know stars do. For me, if you talk to stars, I see them twinkle back. And gosh, we have so many spiders around here, you guys. Oh gosh, it's like spider heaven. If you look at those spiders, like Mike just looked at a spider, we were outside, and he just looked at it, walked by it, and the darn thing, he freaked out and he crawled up into the tree. It was a big old red one. So yes, I think they feel us looking at them.
Oh yeah, I mean, I think we underestimate the intelligence of the insect world.
And elemental world. I think there's some insects that are in some ways every bit as intelligent as we are. They're just in a different vehicle. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I've found it's easy to communicate with these other entities out there. They will listen to you. Like, there's spiders that every night I tell them, you could stay where you are, but just don't go into the doorway. And when they go in the doorway, I'll just wreck their web. But at the same time, they're getting rid of mosquitoes. And so I let them stay there. I don't wipe them totally away. Unicorn Purple says, every time I wake up from nightmares, I automatically call on Archangel Michael to get rid of the ickies. Very important to have a go-to. So I think that's a brilliant idea. That's someone that has your back and you've developed a relationship with them. That's a really good idea. Keep doing that.
So this is interesting. This man says NASA asked for his help to understand orbs. Chris Bledsoe, for those of you that are familiar with him, he says NASA asked his help to help understand orbs that were harassing his astronauts. He said these are angelic beings, even though they come out of orbs and can be as tall as 125 feet with wings and even smile at the astronauts. Chris explains that he worked with NASA for years and has proof, including photos, videos, official documents, as well as meetings with high-level scientists. NASA was interested in him because these beings seemed to like him and communicate with him while avoid official agencies. Well, again, the benevolent beings are not necessarily going to look to start up conversations with beings that are being controlled by demonic entities. If somebody has an activated light body, you probably are going through a life in which you've had a lot of experiences. It's really whether your light body is activated or not.
And you can activate it in this lifetime. It does take a little bit of doing, but it's doable. I think more people are getting activated, even just because of the sun, the rays. The sun is activating, but it takes some time, and then you have to be mindful of that. It's really important to have your vessel healthy.
Yeah, and when you do have energy work with somebody that's activated, it does help to activate you. And again, take things in stages as you're ready. We don't rush things. So anyway, when you see here, he claims that all astronauts have seen orbs, or these beings in space, even though this has never been officially released. These beings appear outside space shuttles, looking through the windows, floating above the shuttle bay or space station. Sometimes they are glowing, and there are reports of several of them standing together up to 125 feet tall, with wings, smiling at the astronauts. He describes them as energy beings that come out of glowing orbs. They are angelic and can appear in many forms, can be 6 or 7 feet tall, or much, much larger. Yeah, this is an exciting time of discovery, and it's time for the world to understand this. We have had the most limited framework of understanding during the Kali Yuga, and now we're out of the Kali Yuga, and this is why all this is happening.
Indeed, it's pretty wild. Ooh!
Look at these guys. I mean, it's hard to imagine that these guys are going to be absolutely mind-blowingly beautiful.
Think of a butterfly. Butterflies are so cool, but if you help them out of their cocoon, they'll die. They need that struggle, and we are all going through the same thing. We are all going through a particular struggle, each and every one of us. But you know what? That struggle has purpose. It adds the life force to your wings so you can fly. It's just making the wings stronger. So for me, I always work on rewiring my brain. If I'm going through something difficult, I keep telling myself, this is adding energy to your wings, and it helps.
Yeah, these are cabbage tree emperor moths. Yes, they can look a little alien. They are certainly large. But, again, man's best friend. Canine or feline? I guess it's interesting, too, because some people gravitate more towards one or the other. I like them both. This little guy is walking his owner, and his owner's doing a good job.
He is so cute. So I think I don't normally offer to do this, but I think I owe JW a roar.
Oh, yes.
I owe JW a roar, a few roars. So you guys watch out. Here we go. We're going to do a roar, and then we're going to do dings. But first, I just wanted to mention, if you guys do set up an energy session and you come with your birth date information, we can look that up and we can see really quick what's going on in your life, in your chart, with your body. Just come with the information, place, date, time, and that really, really helps. So just saying. But here we go, JW. This is for you. It's going to hurt. You ready? One. Okay, I hope you're ready, JW. Hope you're listening. 1, 2. Should I put it off one more time?
No.
Okay. Roar! There, that's for you.
Little Lyran energy coming out.
Lyran energy. Now some dings.
Last time we didn't get the dings in before they cut us off, but here we go. We're getting the dings in.
Here we go, guys. Think happy thoughts. JW, yeah. Okay, here we go. Happy thoughts, and don't forget to drink water after, please. Thank you so much. I want to say a special thank you to Robbie and Susan and anyone over who's given extra on Ko-Fi, all of our Patreons, you guys. We appreciate it. We enjoy your presence. Thank you so much for showing up. Source bless and namaste.
Much love, guys. Much gratitude.